You know, I don't like but. Now, which but am I talking about? This, or this? The answer to this question is undeniably the most important thing for acquiring a language. There's a whole lot of tips on how to learn English and how to reach fluency, from vocabulary apps to grammar exercises. But at the end of the day, it's all about context. What is context? Context is the background information that helps you understand a situation or a conversation. Imagine you walk in on your friend and you find them laughing nervously. Even if you catch a few words, you may still be confused or clueless if you don't know what they're talking about. Of course, you can always ask them directly or try to fill in these missing pieces of the conversation. That's context. When talking about a text, context refers to the information we get from the words before or after a key word or phrase. Reason number 1. Context clarifies the meaning of words. Many English words have multiple meanings. Context helps you determine which one applies. Here are a few examples with the verb run. Imagine someone asks you for the meaning of the word set. Of course, you wouldn't be able to say for sure if you didn't have more details. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, there are over 430 different meanings to this word. It could mean almost anything. So, learning a language is not only about learning new words or memorizing facts. Actually, it's more about learning and understanding context. If you didn't find the previous argument compelling enough, consider homophones. Those words that sound similar but are spelled differently. Imagine you hear these words from a conversation. I'm not leaving here. What do you understand? Is the speaker leaving or leaving? Does he intend to go away soon or does he want to stay? Without a context, it's almost impossible to determine the speaker's exact intention. That leads us to reason number 2. Context gives us insight into tone and intention. To get a good knack of the English language, you also need to understand English culture. How can you tell if the person is being sarcastic, ironic, cheeky, or sincere? You see, people don't always say what they mean, nor do they always mean what they say. To get a good grasp of those nuances of tone, you need context. Hey James, can I have a piece of that cake? Of course you can. This answer could mean yes. That's definitely a no. This answer could mean no. This answer could mean yes or no. So you can't just take these words at face value. You need to consider the context. Reason number 3. Context clarifies pronouns and references. We often use pronouns to replace nouns. But if you don't know what or who is being referred to, then we have a problem. Here's an example. Who is she in this paragraph? Here we have a context. Here's another one. I know the car needs a new tire, but look at the price. It's an absolute bargain. But which one is the bargain? Is it the car or the tire? Well, you want to know the answer? It's all about context. Context clarifies idiomatic expressions. Idioms can be tricky, even for native speakers, especially if it's taken out of context or if the context is not clear. You probably know the idiom, break a leg. Now, if you want to cheer your friend on in a dangerous sports competition like skiing, this is not an idiom you want to use in this context. Unless, of course, you want to explain yourself to people you don't even know. Reason number 5. We need context to understand jokes or play on words. Have you ever felt awkward because everyone seemed to understand the joke? Everyone except you. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't understand the words. It could simply mean that you lacked context. The humor in jokes often hinges on shared experiences or common knowledge. So it could be about cultural or regional issues, it could be about a subject that you're not familiar with, or even a movie you haven't seen. In other words, it relies on the context. For example, you probably won't get this joke if you haven't seen the 1980s movie Airplane. When it's this unexpected, timely, well-phrased humor that usually involves wordplay, which is also called wit, or even irony, you need some background information, some cultural knowledge to fully understand the joke. We just considered 5 of the many reasons why context is important. If you're an English learner, you need context to start thinking in English. And if you're an English teacher, you need to provide your students with the right context to be able to teach them English in English only. As you can see, context explains everything. Once you understand that, you won't be surprised if everyday English seems to break grammar rules, nor will you feel that you need to learn every word in English to become fluent. Now here's a question that still lingers. How do you actually learn context? If you want me to make a video on how you can learn context, let me know in your comments. Don't forget to tune in for my next video. I'd really appreciate it if you can give it a like and subscribe to support my channel. And I'll see you in the next one.